Yo, what's up, guys? So this 150-pound white pit bull that the entire neighborhood called a living weapon wouldn't stop breaking into a baby girl's room every single night. What these parents discovered at 3 a.m. will completely flip everything you thought you knew about the most misunderstood dogs in America. This is Ghost, and this is the night he shattered every assumption his family had about rescue pit bulls by doing the one thing they told him he could never ever do. 6 months ago, Jake Martinez found this massive white pit bull chained to a rusted pole behind an abandoned gas station in South Phoenix. No water, no food, ribs poking through scarred white skin, both ears cut and mangled from fighting. The chain had dug so deep into his neck, it left dark purple grooves that would never fully heal. Jake's wife Sarah said the words before he even pulled into the driveway. "I already know what you're thinking, Jake. The answer is hell no. We have an 8-month-old daughter. That dog is literally a loaded gun with legs." But Jake couldn't unsee those eyes. Behind all that damage, all those scars, all that pain the streets had beaten into him, there was something else. Something that looked like a desperate plea for one more chance. Ghost came home that Saturday with rules carved in stone. He stays downstairs, Sarah said, installing not one, but 2 heavy-duty baby gates. Emma's nursery is completely off limits. I don't care how calm he seems. Pit bulls were bred for fighting. One wrong move, one snap, and our baby— She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't have to. I can see you're not subscribed yet, and honestly, that hurts, because this ending will blow your mind. Any mother would react the same way, right? A 150-pound pit bull with a fighting past and an infant under the same roof? That's not being paranoid. That's just being a responsible parent. Except Ghost had already made his own decision about Emma, and nothing, not gates, not rules, not fear, was gonna stop him. The very first morning revealed the pattern that would change everything. Sarah woke up at 6 a.m. and found Ghost sitting like a marble statue outside the first baby gate. Not pacing, not whining, not scratching. Just sitting there, his massive scarred head tilted toward Emma's closed door upstairs, listening to every single sound she made. "This is weird," Sarah told Jake at breakfast, watching Ghost through the kitchen doorway. "He's been there for 4 hours straight. He hasn't moved once, Jake. Not once." But here's what Sarah couldn't see from the kitchen. Every time Emma made a sound, a coo, a cry, even a tiny yawn, Ghost's entire 150-pound body would react. His mangled ears would try to perk forward. His dark eyes would snap toward those stairs, and his massive paws would shift forward like every cell in his rescue body was screaming at him to go to her. Week 4 brought the real test. Emma caught a nasty stomach bug, constant crying, endless sleepless nights. Sarah and Jake took shifts at midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., walking the halls with their screaming daughter while Ghost watched from his corner downstairs, separated by those 2 baby gates like a prisoner watching life happen without him. One Thursday night at 2:33 a.m., Sarah completely broke down on the living room couch. Emma was finally quiet in her exhausted arms. "I can't do this anymore," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I'm so tired, Jake. I literally can't think straight." Jake gently took Emma from Sarah's arms and carried her back upstairs to her crib. But in his zombie-like exhaustion, he made one critical mistake. He left Emma's door cracked open. Just 2 inches. Just enough. Ghost's head lifted the exact second Jake's footsteps faded down the hallway. His dark eyes locked onto those stairs like a missile locking onto a target. For 20 long minutes, he sat, frozen. Every survival instinct in his rescue body screaming at him to go up there, to check on the baby he'd been hearing cry for weeks. But he'd been trained by pain and punishment to follow rules. Good dogs obey. Good dogs don't break trust. Good dogs don't cross boundaries. Except, what if the rules were wrong? What if this baby needed him? At 3:17 a.m., Ghost made his choice. He stood slowly, all 150 pounds of muscle moving with impossible silence for something so massive. He approached the first baby gate. One powerful push with his scarred head, and it clattered to the floor. The second gate? Same thing. Each step up those stairs felt like crossing into forbidden territory, like breaking an oath. But something deeper than rules was pulling him forward. Something ancient, something primal, something that understood protection before humans ever tried to put it into words. He pushed Emma's door open with his scarred nose. The room was dark except for the soft pink nightlight shaped like a star. Emma slept peacefully, her tiny chest rising and falling, her small fist curled near her cherub face. Ghost approached the crib slowly, carefully, his enormous head lowering to her level. And then he did something that would have absolutely terrified Sarah if she'd seen it. He laid down right beside the crib, his massive body forming a protective wall between Emma and the entire world. Not touching her, not disturbing her, just being there. The guardian nobody asked for, the protector everyone feared. This became his secret ritual. Every single night after the house went silent, Ghost would move those gates, climb those stairs, and take his position. A 150-pound white shadow keeping watch over innocence. A former fighter who'd finally found something worth protecting. For 5 weeks, Ghost kept his secret. 5 weeks of silent protection that nobody knew about, until the night when his disobedience became the only thing standing between Emma and something unspeakable. It was 3:42 a.m. on a Tuesday when Ghost heard something that made every muscle in his scarred body turn to steel. A sound that didn't belong. The soft scrape of metal against wood. Someone was prying open the window in Emma's room. Ghost's lips pulled back, revealing teeth that could crush bone. But he didn't bark. He positioned his 150-pound frame directly in front of Emma's crib, creating a living fortress. His eyes locked onto the dark figure climbing through the window, and he released the lowest, most primal growl. The intruder froze. In the dim glow, he saw what Sarah had been too terrified to see. Not a monster, but a guardian angel. The man saw those scars, those mangled ears. This dog had survived hell, and he would defend this baby with that same will to live. The intruder scrambled backwards, tumbling out the window. Ghost's growl intensified until finally, woof! One massive bark that shook the house. Sarah and Jake burst through Emma's door. Ghost stood guard, trembling. Emma was safe. Sarah dropped to her knees, tears streaming. "You've been protecting her this whole time. I'm so sorry." Ghost's tail wagged once. Jake called police. Serial burglar targeting homes with babies. That morning, they moved Ghost's bed into Emma's room. 7 months later, Emma took her first steps straight into Ghost's paws. No gates, no fear, just pure love. Sometimes the most broken souls just need someone brave enough to trust them. So what really defines a dangerous dog? Its past or its heart?